What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the program. And here we go. We got Buddha brand. We're taking another trip to Japan and their brand of Buddha. Their Buddha brand. Their brand of hip hop. These guys I've been really impressed with. It's right up my alley in terms of that boom bap, sample heavy production style, which was so prevalent and just such a wonderful time in the 90s. The way that they were able to create these sound collages using all of these different pieces of music, digging through crates. And that's a rap crew, actually, DITC, Digging in the Crates crew. And I believe that's like Lord Finesse and all of those dudes that made a super group basically with that sound. That was a New York group. There's a lot more to it than just sampling and making those boom bap style beats to be successful. Buddha brand, from what I understand, are quite the legendary group. I know they're comprised of at least Dev Large, and I don't know. So you guys can let me know in the comments, because I don't want to pretend like I know this 100%, and it's not necessarily super easy. What am I talking about? I have Google. I could do an extensive Google search and find out everything that I need to know. I have Googled them, but I don't even think they have a Wikipedia. I don't think so. Buddha brand, don't test the master. I love how it's don't test the master. A lot of hip hop around this time, and even up until now, they'll do that with, specific words. Redman, he always has the best song titles. The way that, that's just what he does. He changes words around and he hip hops them up, basically. But yeah, let's have a listen to this. Buddha brand, don't test the master. Let's go. And you guys let me know in the comments what I need to know in terms of who each of these two guys are on the cover. Dev Large and maybe the other guy.
MITO connection. L-Matic MC. Launchline speech. BL Tops AC. CQ NIPPS. DJ Denka. They got the record scratches, which is beautiful. So the vocals, they're a little bit buried in the mix, but that's okay. A lot of this hip hop was like that. Smack in your face, he won't. 나 sign up from older no no cycle. Yo, 듣기가 지겨워, half me half G. I'm choosing type like Super Saiyajin. Hey, your shit is all lock. 니 구라베테. My shit is action. So I really like these drums, the drums that they picked. I do find this beat to be a little messy. It's a little chaotic. And there was a lot of noisy boom bap. Look at the guys who produced Public Enemy, but this one, there's almost too much going on. Let's see if they clear it up a bit later on. I'm choosing type like Super Saiyajin. Hey, your shit is all lock. 니 구라베테. My shit is action back. 그 요금 밑에. 미래 기겨워가라 select the gifted. Plus I'm not more yomi. L-Matic you see. Name deal do exhibit to many people. So they mean king cat. I don't know, I just heard Illmatic. He said Illmatic, of course, which is Nas's first album, classic. My shit is action back, 그 요금 밑에. 미래 기겨워가라 select the gifted. Plus I'm not more yomi. L-Matic you see. Name deal do exhibit to many people. So they mean king cat, you know on nobody's ego. 지만 내 damn I'm L. 마이도 없고 쓰나미 너 남이 전에 big way. So who the fuck you think you're talking to? True master. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? And I believe that they are mixing a lot of Japanese with some English in there, and most of the Japanese hip hop I've heard so far has been predominantly Japanese. So who the fuck you think you're talking to? True master, Mr. El Raro, bringing you shit that's why I'm psycho Human generator like Bruno Sammartino To fake snakes on my 傷口にしよう Kick them ass like disaster El Nino だからヘッズゴミとの境分けろ Don't test the master Don't test the master Don't test the master Don't test the master 冷たく雨を増すため前じゃ会う痛めウサギに負けちゃう亀何度トライしても結果は惨めまるでいじめ取り留めるそのいじめ神からの使命高くそびえ立つ山四つの決め今探す隙間イマジネーションに止めエロの牙持つエロダドから来たまるでガリバ困る目の槍はまるでのアリバその刃うちに向けてみろライバ毎晩渡るまでドブ生きる過程得るため見つけるよつばのコバYeah これ半分軽くウォーマン常にノーダのもの
Can't understand really a word, but the beat is smooth.
届けるオーダー松でまるで DL を比べんな Don't test the master たずえしにみな構うな Don't test the master
I really like this chorus section. It comes together for me with those extra samples they bring in, and then the Don't Test the Master sample, how it's laid over that. It's beautiful.
Don't test the master たずえしにみな構うな Don't test the master Don't test the master
That like silky guitar sample that's kind of in the background. It's fantastic.
Don't test the master Don't test the master Don't test the master Don't test the master 来ます第三の独眼竜18番目の川柳一句ひねるマスマリ五七五字余りしたエルマリ語る傲慢なフリースタイル旅行けば西との遭遇ウルトラ C から9ラス99毒まる言葉や2000不老者が勝手に家に上がってもいいかないるせんかいりませんかサニクロイロードマスターいられないだるまちゃかいわきの葉っぱ燃えろ夏子母狂ったパパ言ういい加減にせんかほら世直しく月下美人満月の夜ならなおさらアスピリン土足元気俺らの領域神の域 God bless you出番だ俺のすぐ腕バウンティーハンターホンダのエンジンよりマジ僕飛んだそんなん飛んだもうのほらノート貸します Don't test the master 運もスキルレプゼンテアポジー命するワンチバイブエンドエナジー実力男子の未知テクノロジーDon't rock your razor 絶対レード俺ブレスダストバリエーダイメントダストプラスもマイナスも詰めるフラスコ揺らすよ Yeah サウンドテスト絶滅させますってやつまるでペスト Go home マイクマジでベスト追従不可スーパーが暴れるしランボルギーニ LP2000 飛ばす MC Don't test the master Don't test the master Don't test the master名人だけあってまるでマスター選手は実にいい Great player それだけあってみんな言いかねた言葉は言葉だ神は神だ壁這う忍者で謎の B 言葉に雰囲気俺がヒバヒヒ Down by low いつものこのスティー Hey ちょっとよく見てみ危ない緑の手の動き Watch the sound 音よく見てみいいよりいるよりいいこれがブッダだ神様スティーまずはいるなビートと何秒フロー言ってみろ知ったふりしろ連中の最後の首切ってジェット
This is that road trip type beat. Road trip. You know when you're driving and you're just vibing to the tune, vibing to the track, and you're looking out the window, sun is shining, things are passing by, and the tune fits, and you have a moment of, you know, musical epiphany. It's great. It's good stuff. This is, I could see that, you know, looking out the window at people bustling, and just, that's it. これ全自動 think I said in my last video that I was reacting to some J-rap. And I brought up groups like, Hieroglyphics. And some of those groups that had duos involved, People Under the Stairs. Guys that were just really good at picking good samples and creating these sound collages of creating something new from something old. And it's definitely an art form that's kind of, people aren't sampling quite as much now. I mean, they'll sample, but predominantly they're going to be, their drum breaks and everything's programmed a lot of the time. I think an interesting contrast that I saw recently was on Run the Jewels 4. If some of you are watching might know Run the Jewels, it's LP and Killer Mike. But Run the Jewels 3 was almost like the apex, the culmination of LP's production skills that were sort of moving away from sampling a lot. Like, there was obviously samples on there, but the beats and the skeleton and the meat of the beats is like more industrial and electronic and programming and synths, and it's all like original stuff. Whereas RTJ4 has got a lot of like that older style. You can kind of feel that boom bap style bleed into his production. I think that must have been, he flips that classic DOC track, No One Can Do It Better. Dr. Dre, of course, produced the first one. But he flipped a lot of samples on there too. I think there's like a Wu-Tang sample on the first track. You have the Dr. Dre, DOC, that classic sample on the second track. That one. And just littered, I think. That's one of my favorite groups, absolutely. Alright, let's hit y'all with the outro for today's show. And if you have any recommendations, you can put them down below. Let's find something here. Have a little fun. Alright? Okay. Sounds good. Hey. It's suddenly real, more real than a piece of steel. Coming through when I'm about to steal all the bases. Yes, I'm gonna win the race, kids. Don't stop, gotta put it up in the sky. Not going to lie, I'll testify. Never, because I'm so clever when I'm in your speakers. Listen to it, gets perfect. Every single second, I think it's worth it. I'm gonna make it, break it, shake it, take it, then absolutely smash it. This is a classic. Understand that I'm always going to master it. When I put it in the mix, it fixes mine. You know that I smile when I'm on this microphone, because I kick it terrific, getting wicked vicious. Like the old days, the old ways. You know that some say the only sun rays that are breaking through the clouds way above you. You know that I'm getting loud when I'm on the microphone now. It's absolutely fantastic, and I like being a rap kid. Gonna keep on wrapping it up like Christmas. You can call me Santa, sitting back, relaxing, drinking a can of Fanta. And that's the way that I plan to kill this. Running through the streets, know where to go. All I know is that I'm gonna flow as the crow flies. Free throw in the open skies. I am 04, go to turbo and go into overdrive. And that's the end, my friends. Can you comprehend that I will slice you up? If you're thinking that you are gonna battle me, you don't wanna be saddled with that problem. I got a problem solver. You better understand that is a revolver. That's a Dr. Dre line. I just spray lines like electricity, running through with intensity. Don't stop, you know a couple tents will be set up. Makeshift hospital for all you whack MCs. And that's the end, escaping to the breeze.